Everybody, it's Bill. Hope you're having a good week. I wanted to start off in our preparation for week 10 in thanking you, as always, for your feedback. Not necessarily just for the feedback that you gave each other when we were exchanging the idea sketches yesterday, because you did do that well, but also too to the feedback that you provided me in the midterm. And I hope to be able to implement a number of those things, especially more interactive lectures and perhaps some guest speakers as we move through the course. Now, last week, we spent a lot of time working on the idea sketch. And one of the points that I wanted to make is that in a number of cases, what you were taking on in your sketch might have been a little bit too big. So rather than one idea, you were trying to get all of the ideas together. And so I really want to reiterate the fact that the idea sketch is framing one of the many ideas that you could have to be able to address your challenge. And I use the example that if we were doing this in a corporate setting or in an incubator setting, there would be a number of you working on all of these different ideas. So we're really just concentrating on one idea that will reflect the type of work that you're doing to address the challenge that we will then share with your key contact or your stakeholders, right? So it's really going to help focus you a little bit over the next week or two on this single idea. The other thing that it does is it provides the first opportunity for you to actively co-create with your key contact and your users. And as we mentioned last week, after you go ahead and do the idea sketch and record that, we're going to be reaching out to these folks starting next week. So the idea sketch is going to be due in recorded fashion this Saturday evening, the 31st. Now, the other thing that we have going on here is that we know that if we're going to start sharing publicly and presenting, there needs to be a story. So what we're working on alongside of the idea sketch is the story of us. And we've got a template that you're working through as you're now starting to connect and collaborate on your values and the stories and what it is that has brought you to this challenge. Okay, and so we'll have an opportunity for you to provide a rough draft of your story of us next week in class. Should be right around 2.5 minutes. It should not be 4 minutes. And again, the more advanced stage you are, the better the feedback and the more useful the feedback is going to be for when you record and turn that in on the 7th. And so the story of us now, and you'll see as we're going through the next couple of weeks of the class, is we're really starting now to start to figure out how it is we're going to share and tell people about what we're creating. So the story of us is one piece. And then, of course, later on is the story of now. But then there's also the piece that we often think of when we're doing design in a startup, and those are the pitches. And so I've given you a video to take a look at from Jason Tagler in Pitch Creator that's going to give you an introduction to the README pitch, which is written, and the Hear Me pitch, which we often refer to as the slide deck. And what I really want to have you get out of that video is to not get caught up in the fact that Jason has done this through a lens of presenting it to investors. You're not going to be presenting this project to investors. But the same concepts apply when you are applying your idea and sharing it with the decision makers or the faces of power, the folks that have the opportunity to embody what you've done and to implement it. So what I really want you to get out of it is what the purpose of the README versus the Hear Me pitch are, the key components, and then why it's important to have the README pitch before the Hear Me pitch. And we're going to do both of those things. So you're going to see that as we start moving through next week, we're going to start to work on the Hear Me pitch, just like we've done. I've posted a template for you to download, and we will start to give a description of the README pitch, and then start to workshop the README pitch as well. So I'd like to encourage you to continue doing the great work that you are on your idea sketches. Looking forward to seeing some of the stories of us. And of course, if you need any assistance or have any questions, you can reach out in the forum or you can email me and I'd be happy to help you. Hope you have a great week. And as you are planning this last week of October and the last week leading into the election, I also hope that you'll make a plan and make sure you vote. Have a good week, everybody.